My name is Mr. Weiner, Dean of Admission here at Blair, and it's such a pleasure to chat with you and to hopefully explain a little bit in a digestible way, who is Blair, right? What do we do? What are we all about? So here we go. So where is Blair? Blair is interesting. It's in the northwest corner of New Jersey, in the countryside. So we're on 460 acres, but we're only an hour outside of New York. So it's this beautiful campus, very easy to get to from the city and the airports, and full of beautiful buildings. These buildings in the bottom here are dormitories and academic buildings, science building. Back here we have a golf course. We have a 9-hole golf course on campus, and I'll show more about that. We have incredible athletic facilities, indoor training facility for the golf team. Here's a bubble that's inside turf and tennis, and then you can see the whole athletic complex, and then off screen there are a few more buildings. So it's what we say a tight campus, no more than a 5-minute walk from any place on campus. I'll show you this. This is a reverse angle looking back the other way. The reason I want to show you this is town is on the top of the picture there. This is, if you can see my cursor, that's the original one-room schoolhouse that started in 1848 at Blair. So this is our 175th year we're celebrating this year, and that's where it started, in that one-room schoolhouse. And then town is close. There's not much in town, but there is enough that is nice for our students to be able to easily access. It's a safe town. You can go in sandwich shops. There's a little grocery store, etc. So to be able to walk off campus and have access to things like that is really a nice perk for our students. This is, just some stats. As I said before, close to New York and the airports, which is really convenient. We're about 465 students, right around there. High percentage of boarding. It's important. We're predominantly a boarding school, right? We really value that. That takes the shape of 6 days of classes, half days on Wednesdays and half days on Saturdays. So our weekends are full with a lot of things. Kids from all over the country, all over the world. International, we usually are between 17 and 20%, right around there. And then this past year, very competitive year, and continues to be so, about a 15% acceptance rate. And I just say that, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's a competitive process, right? A lot of great schools, a lot of great kids. And so partnership with wonderful consultants is really important in this process. So we're in a lucky position to look for the best and brightest out there for Blair. I wanted to try to summarize throughout this chat some main talking points, right? And I would say for Blair, what we say is we're a student-centered school. That's our philosophy, versus a faculty-centered philosophy. Many of the schools that we compete against are much bigger schools, 600, 700, 800 kids, and they tend to be bigger facilities and programs, but they tend to be a little less warm, I would say, right? You're kind of going through, as a student, going through that process. It's like a little university, still a great education, still a wonderful experience, but a different experience, right? Versus a student-centered, which is a little more about you. I know every single kid on campus. We're smaller. We get together 3 times a week as a school meeting, as a school community, twice in a school meeting and once in chapel. So we're able to come together and really focus on the kids. As we say, relationship-based learning, and that second point is really important. The mentorship and guidance that teachers play in our students' lives outside of the classroom is just as important as the education that the students are receiving inside the classroom, right? Adolescents going through a lot in the high school years, and to have mentors and role models who are not their parents, messaging the same thing as their parents is really important. And there's a stat out there that says the 2 most influential groups for adolescents, for teenagers in particular, are their peer group and adults who are not their parents. So for a school to be filled with like-minded kids who are good kids on the Blair side, that's really important. I'll talk about that in the process in terms of who we look for, right? We want really bright kids who are talented in so many ways, but at the very beginning, we're looking at your character and who you are as a person, because that matters in our community. And then I'll say that the last bullet there, the warmth and rigor, that is what Blair is known for. Those larger schools that our families are looking at are also looking at Blair because they want the top level academics, they want the top level programs, whether that be in the orchestra, robotics, or science labs, athletic fields. But they also want to be connected and known. And so that balance is really important for us and our brand, right? That's why we have the amount of applications and the acceptance rate that we do, is because families really value that dual approach to being pushed, but also being supported at Blair. So I hope that makes sense.